My name is Morgan Buckner. I have a passion for music. I love to listen to music in my spare time, and I'm also battling a chronic illness. It's called gastroparesis. It means paralysis of the stomach, which means my stomach is paralyzed. Signs of gastroparesis are nausea, vomiting, early fullness after eating just a few bites of food. Some people experience pain, constipation, and bloating. I went undiagnosed for about 9 to 10 months. Like, we were trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and we thought it was my gallbladder at first, but turns out it was something much more serious that couldn't be controlled. There's a test called a gastric emptying scan, which means a stomach emptying scan, and it shows how fast you can digest food. And all I ate was like a small amount of eggs that were about this big. And in a normal person, that would be gone in like 1 to 2 hours. But it was a 4-hour test, and there was still eggs inside my stomach at 4 hours, and that's when the diagnosis was confirmed. I've had it for 2.5 years. I got it March 5th of 2013. Basically anything, and stress definitely will make gastroparesis worse. My diet can range anything from soft foods like rice and soups. Those are on good days. On days, lately I've been having a lot of bad days, so I'm on a full liquid diet, which means, I still get the protein and the nutrients, but they're in liquid form, such as protein shakes. And on my very bad days, it's just clear liquids like chicken broth, popsicles, and Pedialyte. Usually not eating or drinking anything really helps, and I just try to drink as many shakes as I can in a day, but that's not good either, because then you could either be weak, feeling like you're about to pass out, or you can be constantly nauseated. Usually after I eat anything, just a sip of water can make me feel sick. So it's kind of a catch-22. And also sleeping. Sleeping helps really well. It gets pretty tough, especially during the holidays, because the only thing I can usually order at a restaurant is either water or iced tea. And everybody's like with their big meals, and it can be kind of awkward at times. It does, because a lot of my friends are kind of known to expect last-minute cancellations from me, which I try really hard not to do that, because I don't want to be alone. No one wants to feel super isolated and feel sick. But there are days where it's so bad where I just have to say no, and, hopefully they'll understand. Yes, no excessive bending, no walking around too much, pushing heavy carts, lifting heavy boxes, climbing mountains, hiking, all that stuff I have to be really cautious about. Yes, my case was drug refractory, which meant all the medications failed. They didn't get rid of my nausea like the doctor said it would. So the next step was to get a pacemaker or a pacer for your stomach, which is for symptom control. So it doesn't actually pace the stomach, but it helps with nausea. Yes, they actually do, I think, 2 surgeries. They do a thing called a gastric pacer or pacemaker or gastric stimulator. It goes by 3 different names. It's about this big. They implant it in the stomach wall, and then they attach wires to the stomach to help. Well, it helps it empty also, but it helps mainly with the symptom control, like by shocking the stomach. And they also do feeding tubes, which are implanted surgically too. It depends on how high you have to go on your settings to get a good amount of relief. At first, my body responded to the lowest setting, and it worked great for a couple months, but then it stopped working. So they've been continually having to bump up the settings, and now mine are so high that my battery should only last about 2 years. So in 2 years, I'll have to go through surgery to replace the device.